Good times. Hello. What do we have here? Alright. Sure. Let's see what I've missed. So, nearly 20 years ago, we got a little series called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And it sent waves through the gaming community. And through the early 2000s, these games had a powerful impact on us. Not only did it define a generation, it brought a resurgence back to skateboarding, but it was a definitive title that defined a lot of kids growing up. And I almost can't do justice to just how strong it was. All these years have gone by, and so many people look back on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater so fondly. Pro Skater 1 and 2 was almost standard with N64s and PlayStation 1s. You could guarantee that almost everyone had got their hands on it. And you know what? You want to know what's crazy? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is one of the highest rated video games of all time still. It's still sitting among the best, among Ocarina of Time, among Grand Theft Auto 4 and numerous other titles. Strongly. Let that sink in. A skateboarding game. A skateboarding game was that powerful to us. It left that big of a mark, not only in gaming, but in the real world. This was the inspiration for so many pro skaters of today. So many kids picked up a skateboard just over this game, and so many people had so many great memories of sitting down with siblings or just enjoying trying to get the highest combos together. Something about it just captured everyone's awe and amazement, and it drew people together. And over the years, Tony Hawk continued. The Pro Skater games continued 1 to 4, and well, I suppose you could say there was 5, but we don't talk about that. But it continued with the Pro Skater games, and then it carried on with the Underground series and numerous other titles ever since, but slowly over time it seemed to drop off, especially after the Underground series. It hit a peak and it kind of just began sloping off ever so slowly. And it was fading into obscurity, just fading into a nostalgic memory for people. And they tried to bring it back a couple of years ago with, okay, yeah, there was a Pro Skater 5, and boy did that not go over well. At all. Now here we are, in 2020. Again, 20 years have passed. And Pro Skater 1 and 2 is back again. It's here and now. And you have to ask yourself, is this all nostalgia? Is it just rose-colored glasses that we'll be seeing this game with? Or does it genuinely stand the test of time? Does this formula, has it been able to come back just as strongly as ever? Because that's a tall order to fill with the legacy it's left. So yeah, is it that strong still? Will it bring on a new legacy for skaters? Let's find out. Let's see what's happened after this much time has passed. Let's kick this bad boy in. Oh my god. Tony Hawk Pro Skater is back.
The moment that I booted this game up and was greeted with a intro movie playing Guerrilla Radio, just like with the old games, put a huge grin on my face. But that grin grew even more as I watched it, and only to then be greeted by this nice little menu screen playing Superman by Goldfinger. It brought so many different emotions to me, and just complete waves of nostalgia crashing into me. Just being able to see that, and right then and there I'm like, oh, they knew exactly what to do and what to do just right for old fans. It hits on something special right away. And as soon as I began playing it and toying around with it by creating my own skater and then going through a quick tutorial to, okay, here's a refresher of everything. I never played the Tony Hawk games on PlayStation really, besides like Underground 1 and American Wasteland, and it feels like forever ago. So it definitely was easing back into it since it's been so long since I actually played one. But with the help of the tutorial and just some muscle memory, I fell right back into old patterns. And I was able to definitely perfect it as I went on through the game. And upon clearing that, it was just amazing being able to go back to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 levels and do, you know, the actual skating sessions, complete the goals, and basically do these levels just as you did back in the old days with the collectibles. You know, collecting the skate letters, the meeting your points goals, collecting these items scattered around the map, and finding the secret tape, just all of that. It hit on something really special to me, and made me grin. So, again, if you grew up with these games, you're gonna probably find yourself right at home. They did this really faithfully, and just about all respects. All these maps now, you get to see without that rendering distance fog covering up everything. No, it is everything very faithfully done, and I don't think there was really many changes. If anything, there's only just new stuff added on top of it, and it feels well worth it. You know, you would think to yourself that after all this time, does such a formula still hold up? And the answer simply put from me, yeah, it held up great actually. I'm actually surprised. I was just kind of worried as I walked into this. Is this just gonna be blind nostalgia? Is this gonna be like, oh god, yeah, this doesn't feel well? Especially after remembering that the last thing I really played a lot of was the Underground games, and you know, those definitely changed things up a bit, having the ability to jump off your skateboard, sticker slap, and run around as you used to, doing all these wild and crazy goals. So I was kind of telling myself, man, having that gone's gonna feel weird, because it almost spoiled me having that ability. It definitely grew on me, being able to use that, and became such an integral part of some of the combos in that game. But yes, surprisingly enough, it really wasn't that hard to get back into the gist of this. And as you go through these levels, it helps you ease your way back into these patterns, or learn them for the first time and test out your skills. It's an excellent way to get the hang of things in this game. And the whole time you get to do this while enjoying either playing as one of your favorite pro skaters from back in the day, or as one of the new pros who are around today. So there's plenty of options, and if you don't want to go for any of that, then hey, yeah, just go for creating your own character, like I mentioned earlier. You'll have plenty of choices from the clothing styles down to the wheels on your deck. There's plenty of choices to work with, and as you progress through the game, you'll even have challenges available where once you complete them, whatever task it may be, like, hey, complete this certain number of tricks or do this combo, then there you go. You do that and you can get a new board from that, or a bunch of progress, a new badge, all sorts of stuff. And it'll level up, give you money, so that you can go out and buy more these customizable options for your skaters. And I'm a sucker for that sort of option, that sort of customization being presented to me. So that was thoroughly enjoyable, being able to go in and do that as well. And the challenges are pretty fun to work towards. It helps give you a sort of driving force, or something that, again, challenge you and help perfect or learn new skills to work on. The other part of new skills, so to speak, would be the fact that each of these levels still have stat points scattered around it. In fact, a lot of the collectibles are still in the same spot that you may remember from back in the day. So grabbing all of those stat points will help you master certain skills that your skater can have, like, hey, I want to be better at my grinding balance or my manual balance, or I want to be able to spin faster, or I want better lip balance. So all of that, not to mention what goes hand in hand with that are the special moves. Like, say you want to do one of Rodney Mullen's manuals, or you want to do a dark slide grind, or you want to do a 900 or a make twist variant. You can assign those to your skater as one of their special moves and give them whatever command to enter that you want. So up down circle, or left right circle, or left up circle, whatever you want. All that taken into consideration, again, the maps are all wonderful. Both 1 and 2 have all these recognizable levels that are just wonderfully and faithfully recreated. Some of them in particularly really stand out, like take the Venice map for example. Looking at all of the graffiti on the walls is just amazing how much art was put into that. It's really mind-blowing to just kind of slowly go by and stare at it all, covering each and every wall. And then there's the aircraft hangar from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and watching how it's basically a shrine, a love letter, more or less, to all of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. From the first game clear to, I think American Wasteland was the last one they showed on it, or Proving Ground, I could be wrong. Even Neversoft is in it, on all these little posters hanging on the wall. And going to Warehouse again for the first time was such a special feeling. Seeing that place just perfectly recreated from what a lot of us remembered on N64 or PlayStation 1. It's a really cool feeling of looking around that and skating in it again. It's sort of like a welcome home feeling, if you know what I mean. And of course, other maps are really cool. I thought the downhill jam was pretty entertaining on the dam level. I really liked the mall. What else? Going back to the school on Pro Skater 2 was also a bit of a special feeling, because it really has almost been so long at this point that some of it just kind of faded from memory. I looked at some of those Pro Skater 2 levels like, I really don't remember you. And then some of the extra free skate levels, like, oh, they have the Matador Stadium, they've got Area 51, and then they have Heaven, which, hey, that is a really pretty map. Let's not forget some of the other extra unlockables, like the extra skaters. Take a skeleton, for example, or an alien, or Jack Black.
I'm gonna be Officer Dick. Officer Dick.
Tonight on Channel 10 News, we have a breaking news story on the local Ravens High School, where their security guard known as Officer Dick has experienced a mental breakdown and is currently terrorizing the local skaters in a golf cart. His rampage has already taken the lives of 4 students as he mocks their unfortunate murders. What can be done to stop this man's psychotic episode and burst of blood? Please stay tuned and be alert, as this man is extremely dangerous, and police are currently on the hunt for him.
Oh, this is gonna be a 1,000,000+ score right here. Hey. What's that noise? Oh, oh Jesus!
This is where you die!
Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. But apart from all that, what else is worth mentioning? Well, the soundtrack is here in almost its entirety, and it's wonderful and as amazing as ever at setting the tone and the mood and that complete atmosphere for skating. I know I was banging my head every time I started hearing Superman come back on, When Worlds Collide, Guerrilla Radio, and there's some new hits on there that I hadn't heard before that, yeah, they're pretty nice. I can't complain about it. And the actual sound of the skateboard, how it sounds when it wall rides, when it grinds, it manuals, when you get that satisfying special trick sound, all of it's great. It sounds so pleasing to the ear. And on the graphics themselves, I can't complain. They look great. It's amazing to see such a complete makeover, a facelift after this much time. I don't think I ever would have expected this or imagined it'd look like this. So that's really cool on top of this. It holds up pretty great. And in almost all respects. Everything from the lighting, the models of the skaters themselves, and just the overall world. And like I said, some of the graphics, take the level like Venice for example, all of that is so absolutely beautiful and done just an amazingly well job on it. Now, if there's anything else I want to point out, it's the fact that for a lot of people, this sort of gameplay loop is one that's really satisfying and you could stick to it for a while. But for others, maybe after playing through, say, all the levels in 1 or 2 and doing all the challenges, you'll be like, okay, I think I got my fill, that's enough. It'll be up to you. And honestly, going through those levels, again, it really didn't take me that long to be able to kind of hit on all those challenges. There was a few where I was completely stumped and really had to search hard, or even look up a guide, just go like, where is this? Why can't I find this? Oh, right, okay. There was only a few times of that. So the replayability and staying power, it's probably going to vary for some of you. Some of you really might find this repetitive quickly, others are like, yeah, I can do this all day, every day, no problem. By the time I had really explored everything, I did a lot of the free skating, I tried out all the maps, I did all the challenges, played a little bit of the creative park mode maps, and a little bit of multiplayer. And when all is said and done, I'm like, yeah, I think I got my fill. I'm pretty good after all of this, and I don't know when I'll return. I'll probably pop it back in sometime, but I think it was more than satisfying enough after, give or take about, I guess, 20 hours in total, altogether. So make of that what you will. It's really just a case of your mileage may vary, so to speak, on this game. What I can tell you is I had a hell of a great time. And I don't really have any negatives jumping out at me to specifically say, other than, yeah, it's up to you to find how this gameplay is held up. I think it stands the test of time, and I think it serves as a new milestone of, hey, it's not dead yet, and it can come back really strong. I mean, I'm personally feeling, honestly, like there's probably a really good chance that we're going to see a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remastered now, or even Underground 1 and 2, which I am completely down for and in support of. That will be amazing. And hopefully, we'll enjoy those even more, or have even more awesome new features added. There's only one way to find out, honestly. So, if you got some money to spare, $40 for a brand new game that just came out, a lot of replayability, then here you go. I don't think you'll regret it. You're in for a great time. And that's whether you're a new fan or you're a veteran of this game. Give it a shot, and go for it.
Whew. Alright. So after all these years of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, how does it hold up? The final verdict, it's holding up great. Whether you're a new fan or old, this game can be great for you. It is perfect. It was so faithfully and lovingly redone, down to a T, and it's only gotten more content since. There's very slight gameplay changes to it, but overall, it holds up great. It isn't just pure nostalgia here. There is a genuinely great and fun game to play with it's just dripping from the seams with content. And little Easter eggs and secrets and unlockables. No, not DLC, actual unlockables and challenges to work towards. So you don't have to worry about that. If I had to give final, verdict on it, final thoughts, the only other things I would really point out, hey, you will love this, is the soundtrack's great. It's back with the originals and more. The Create Skater is so much fun. Going through the Pro Skater 1 and 2 maps is great, and Creative Park's pretty good. And yeah, even we have the new pros and our current day, and even the original guys as they look today, and it's awesome. They put a lot of care into this, and it shows so vividly. I don't really have that much negative to say, other than the gameplay loop might get staler for some of you a little faster than others. And some of you might get discouraged from, falling down so much, but hey, you keep getting back up. You keep practicing and getting better at this stuff. It's just like it would be with any other thing in life. You practice and it gets better. And it's not that hard. This isn't like a complex fighting game where you're learning combos exactly. This is, you get it down, you start visualizing what to go for, what to hit from here to here to here, and it's really fun to be able to get it all together and string something really cool into one cohesive combo and just watch that score multiplier and the points rack up. It's awesome. So, yeah. The only other thing I might say is the multiplayer it just wasn't really for me. I didn't really care for it on here. I was kind of excited for it, but after playing it, it was more or less a meh thing. But don't let that discourage you. I completely think that you should give this game a try. I completely think it is worth the purchase. Especially I think it released at $40 right now. It's still $40 if you go and get a new copy at GameStop or Target, Amazon, whatever. So you don't have much to lose. At the very least, you can give it a rental. Go to a Redbox or Family Video or whatever, or borrow it from a friend. Because I don't think you'll be disappointed with this. Skateboarding is back, and it's stronger than ever with these Pro Skater games. And hopefully, we're going to be seeing more. Who knows? Maybe the Birdman and Activision will get together for another remake of 3 and 4, Underground 1 and 2. Let that sink in. Imagine that. So, without further ado, I'd probably give this game a solid 9 out of 10. And yeah, this was something special. This brought one of the biggest smiles I've had throughout the year. And now I'm looking forward to more. So, hey, I hope you enjoy it. I hope this video helps you maybe make up your mind and want to go for it. And with all things considered, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Stay tuned, everyone.